Monday, everybody. I'm Vincent Devall with the Eagle Homes team and the Eagles Nest podcast.
And I'm Brad, as usual. Last name Brewer, of course. Your co-pilot for today's winter prep episode. We're going to just dive right into some tips, tricks, and oh shoot, I forgot that those moments that come up in the Midwest winters, right?
Yeah, those are the best. Whether you're a seasoned homeowner or just settling into your first place, we've got you covered, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, let's kick off with some basics, Vince. What's first thing? Telling your clients before the snow hits is probably important, right?
Yeah. Like if you wait till the snow hits and everything freezes,
What do you tell them?
I think my biggest first tip is get those gutters cleaned out, right? If they're clogged with leaves, tree branches, those little whirly-bird things, you're asking for ice dams, water damage, and bonus points if you check those downspouts too.
Yeah. Next up, furnace filters. Obviously, those are something you're supposed to change fairly regularly, but especially important because the furnace going in the wintertime. Swap them out. It helps your system run more efficiently, keeps the air clean, things like that.
Yeah. And also check things like the weather stripping around your doors and windows. Reverse ceiling fans to clockwise for warm air circulation. Inspect your roof for loose shingles and shut off exterior water lines and drain hoses. I also see a lot of people, have those frost-free outdoor faucets. Still put one of those covers over them. They make those little, they're probably about 4x4 and 6 inches. They got a little like hook and spring in them. Put those on there too, just to make sure that they're not freezing up on you.
And don't forget your sump pump. Test it before the melt. A flooded basement in February is definitely no one's idea of a good time.
Yeah. So for those that don't know how to test it, you can do a couple different things. You can run a hose to it, fill it up, listen for it to kick on. The other thing you can do is you have a float in your sump pump. Lift that float up, and that float you should hear it kick on and try to pump out any remaining water.
Just so you know, I just learned that second tip right now.
Oh, the float?
I used to take buckets of water and
never
thought to even lift the float up.
Yeah. So let's talk money. Winter heating bills can sneak up on you. Some people are on budget plans. Some people, prefer just to pay as they go, pay what they use, right? But winter heating bills can sneak up just like a snowstorm in April.
Yeah. I know some people also do the budget bill too. Yeah. It just keeps it pretty static throughout the year, which is nice. But another couple other, pretty budget-friendly tips, if you will. The smart thermostats, set schedules. It can save you up to 10%.
Yeah.
I don't know who did that study, but that's what they say, the experts, right? Insulate your attic and hatch, basement, joists, things like that. Use thermal curtains, especially on non-north facing windows. Seal gaps with caulk. Especially around outlets and pipes.
So not just, we're talking outlets and pipes, but walk around the exterior of your house, right? Walk around the exterior, look for those little gaps where like maybe your gas line comes in, or, a lot of times around your AC condenser, you have a few pipes that are coming in your house. Make sure there's no holes around there. Fill those with, if it's a big hole, they have that expandable foam you can throw in there. Otherwise, a little bit of caulk in some random spots. The other cool way to test for drafts in your house, I don't know if you know this or many people do, take a match. Light a match, blow it out, and then you know how that match smokes. Yeah. If there's a draft coming into your house, that smoke's going to blow away from that area. If it's being sucked out, especially when your heat's on, that means the heat's being sucked out of your house in that area. So it's a great way to figure out where you need to caulk or maybe put plastic up. But also don't underestimate the power of a good humidifier. Most air feels warmer, so you can lower the thermostat a degree or two.
Oh, that's a good tip too. Awesome. Also, on the thermostat, you just put a couple extra layer of clothes on.
All right.
You don't have to run around in your shorts and t-shirt all winter long in the house. Put some sweats on. It does help. I'm just saying.
I have a client who, before he was married, he would let his house get down to like the mid 40s.
Yeah.
He then got married, and now I think he posted the other day, he didn't turn on his heat yet, but it was like 48 in his house. And I'm just like, man, trying to save some money, it's going to take you longer to heat that house back up. And he recently bought a home, and that home is well insulated. It's not like it's a a beat up home that's a
Right.
rental, or it's well insulated now.
Right.
So yeah. All right, Brad. What's something people always forget until it's too late?
Snow shovels, or worse, the ice melts.
Yeah.
Stock up for those. Right up before the first storm, I'm going to raise my hand on that. Guilty every year. I have a shovel and of course a snowblower, but I forget
I
this.
smell.
I forget the ice melt right up until that day.
Yeah.
And then if one of those big snowstorms hits right away as the first snow, that stuff can run out.
Oh,
So
and
you gotta
everyone, you're right. You
yeah.
like big first snow or
Mhm.
unexpected snow. You go to like a Home Depot, A Star, or True Value, and,
Absolutely.
and people all the time are like looking for the snow shovel, looking for the ice melt. Uh, Ice melt, if it stays in the bag, just like water softener,
Yep.
salt, it you can buy it in the spring.
Mhm.
Get a couple bags on hand so that you're not in the I need to save
Mhm.
my butt mode, right? Also, kitty litter. Kitty litter is a great little
Mhm.
tool to have on hand for, if you get the car stuck, you throw that underneath the tires. It helps get you a little traction. But here's a list. Let me throw a list at you of some often forgotten winter gear.
Okay.
Uh, Furnace backup batteries. Some furnaces are,
The
not just
back.
furnaces,
Yep.
but thermostats, right?
Yep.
So change thermostat batteries
Yep.
if you're not hardwired in. Extra gloves and windshield scraper in the car. Emergency kit with flashlights, blankets, snacks, extra, make sure the
Mhm.
batteries are new. So, winter times are the most common time that we lose power. Ice build up, especially here in the Midwest, ice build up on power lines
Yep.
or trees, and the limbs fall, take out a power line. Once again, your salt for walkways.
Yep.
Insulated faucet covers, which we talked about for the outdoors. Firewood or propane if you rely on it.
Yep.
Okay. And then pet safe ice melt for your furry friends, right?
Yeah, I have a dog. You have a dog.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like to get the salt. It really does. I've seen it. For those who have pets and never use
Yeah.
just regular salt. Yeah, you definitely want to get the pet friendly ice melt.
Yeah. And then,
For our real estate folks, make
yeah.
sure your listing signs are winterproofed. We've had signs buried in snowbanks and different things like that. Some of the signs that don't go into the ground, so have different types of signs
Yeah.
available for those winter open houses because those little stake things just will not fit up. And if there's no snow on the ground,
Right.
also, what are you going to put it into?
Right.
So-
Um, and when they're putting out your new listing signs,
Mhm.
maybe they're getting them in the ground today, but kind of pay attention to where they're putting them because if they're putting them right next to the driveway and they all of a sudden are plowing the snow up
Good.
next to the driveway,
Take
your sign might not be visible.
Yeah, especially if you've got a home that's on more a busy city or
Yeah.
highway.
Highway. Yeah.
Those big plow trucks, especially if they're moving at a higher speed on the highways,
Right.
I've seen them blast and knock those signs right over. So,
Yeah.
good time as an agent to drive around and check your signs too. That way you can let your sign company or take care of yourself.
I'm gonna throw another agent tip out there.
Okay.
Uh, Very handy to have. They have de-icer spray. Okay,
Okay.
de-icer spray. You know how many times you go to a new house that's been vacant for a while and the lockbox is frozen? Get that de-icer spray. It's a great little tip to
Mhm.
spray it if you can't get the numbers to move or the buttons to push in. De-icer spray will save you on a lot of showings.
I'll give you one to hopefully even avoid them getting, which I learned this the hard way. I've gone to houses where other agents will locate where you're putting those lock boxes in the
Yeah,
wintertime. Make sure they're not something where water's dripping down or potential to
or
drip down.
yeah, rain or even
Where
rain. Like
rain that then will freeze.
yeah.
So lockbox location is pretty critical.
And I'll tell you, where time the one place you do see a lot of lock boxes, well, you probably see them year round there,
Mm.
is on the gas meters,
Yeah.
right? And then gas meters exposed, the freezing rain hits it,
They're
the lock
usually
box freezes
they're
up.
usually right off the runoff off the roof. So
Yeah,
you got moisture constantly come down.
that's a
It
good one.
freezes.
Yeah.
Even the de-icers can have difficulty, or it just takes a lot of time.
Yep.
You get your clients out there in the cold waiting. So a
Right.
couple agent tips for you guys. Before we wrap up though, let's talk real life.
Yeah.
Vince, you've been through a few Midwest winters. Any stories that stick out?
Gosh, like a good one is I once had a client call me in January, panicked because their front door wouldn't close.
Mhm.
Turns out the weather stripping had frozen, expanded, and the door just wouldn't close correctly. So we got it fixed, right? But it goes back to testing, checking those weather strippings, testing if you have a little bit of a
Mhm.
gap, it's not closing right. Because once you get water and ice build up on that, it makes it very difficult to take
Yeah.
care of.
Yeah, I had a showing once where the driveway was a sheet of ice. We did the whole tour in slow motion, basically. Arms were out like penguins, walking up the door. I felt like I was ice skating without skates. The buyers loved the house, but they also appreciated that the seller had salt ready
By the front
right,
door.
right by the door, which was nice. So
That's the thing. Little touches matter. Whether it's preparing your home for sale, for guests walking through. Winter is about being proactive, right?
Yep.
A warm entryway, a clear path, even cozy scent like cinnamon or pine. It all adds up.
Yeah, and like a couple again, just friendly reminders for our pets. We've already mentioned it once. The give them a nice warm spot to go out, to potty or if you happen to have a dog or whatever that stays in the garage, just make sure they've got. They get cold just like us. I know they got the fur, and of course we already mentioned the pet safe ice melt is pretty huge.
And don't forget this is that time of year. We just turned our clock backs on Sunday. Check your smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. With furnaces running and windows closed. Safety is key here, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you don't think about until it's too late.
Yeah, the same goes for the power backup. If you've got a generator, test it. If you don't, consider a battery backup for phones, flashlights. Midwest storms can knock out power fast, and depending on how much those storms go, it can be, worst cases, it could be days before you get that stuff up and running.
Yep. And if you're traveling for the holidays, set your thermostat around 55 degrees. You don't want to go home to frozen pipes or a flooded basement.
Yeah. I've seen mistake of people. I've heard nightmare stories of people actually turning their heat off for some strange reason.
Yeah.
And not even thinking about the frozen pipe issue.
Right.
So.
Right.
Final tip, make a winter checklist. Stick it on the fridge, share it with your neighbors. It's a great way to stay ahead and kind of build a community. Nothing wrong with helping remind each other what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Winter's tough, but it's also a season of connection. Whether you're preparing your home, helping a neighbor, or just tuning into our podcast here, we're all in it together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a wrap for the winter prep episode. If you found this helpful, share it with a neighbor, a friend. If you got additional questions or thoughts, we'd love to hear about it so we can put it on a future episode.
Yeah.
We do like to do these seasonal tips, for each season. So, and I know we're talking winter, but we're going to blink and
it'll be spring.
And I'll get excited again.
Right. Hey, I'm Vincent Devall at the Eagle Homes team and the Eagles Nest podcast. Thanks for checking us out.
Have a great day.
We'll see you next week, guys.